Good morning. I'm Steve Jurins with your live Northeast Radio SD News for Monday, March 2nd, 2026. Your news this hour is brought to you by Watertown Development Company, Watertown's established economic growth and development professionals. Check out the no-cost online courses available to help local entrepreneurs. Learn more at wdcsd.com under the Events tab. The Watertown Development Company equals economic mobility. The Watertown Arrows wrestling program delivered a historic performance this past weekend at the 2026 SDHSAA State Individual Wrestling Championships in Sioux Falls. The Arrow boys secured a third-place finish in Class A, highlighted by junior Gage Lohr's Elite 4-peat. Lohr capped a perfect 28-0 season to capture his fourth consecutive state title, joined by fellow undefeated champion Shay Richter, who finished 45-0. On the girls' side, the Arrows earned the state runner-up honors. Allison Conrad claimed her second title and her 150th career win, while top-ranked Eden Hawk became a back-to-back state champion at 235 pounds. Between both programs, the Arrows brought home 4 individual titles and top 3 team finishes to cement their status as a state powerhouse. Watertown authorities are investigating a serious head-on collision that sent 2 people to the hospital Sunday afternoon. At approximately 3 p.m., a 14-year-old male driving a 2005 Chevy Equinox was traveling westbound on U.S. Highway 20 when his vehicle crossed the center line and struck an eastbound Toyota Camry head-on. The 73-year-old driver of the Toyota sustained multiple non-life-threatening injuries, while a 70-year-old female passenger was rushed to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. The juvenile driver was treated for minor injuries and has been cited for careless driving. Officials say drugs and alcohol are not to be believed to be factors, though both vehicles were declared total losses. The Watertown City Council meets tonight at 5:30 p.m. to tackle an agenda focused on workforce housing and airport operations. A major highlight includes the potential creation of 2 new tax increment financing or TIF districts. These districts would support the Oaks 2 and Data Commons Reserve, 2 projects aiming to add 184 total residential units with rents restricted to 80% of the area median income or less. The council will also hold public hearings for long-term leases at the Watertown Regional Airport, including a 20-year hangar lease and a large-scale agricultural lease for hang and crop harvesting. Additionally, the council will consider a $161,000 agreement for construction administration on the 5th Avenue North reconstruction project. A 31-year-old Raymond man is heading to the state penitentiary following a cocaine distribution investigation downtown Watertown. Dalton Eric Dwayne Dampier was sentenced last week to 8 years in prison with 4 years suspended on the condition of good behavior. Dampier was arrested in October 2025 after Watertown detectives found him in possession of approximately 22 grams of cocaine following weeks of surveillance. As part of a plea agreement, he pleaded guilty to 1 count of conspiracy to distribute a controlled substance. Court documents noted his extensive prior criminal record, and he was ordered to pay over $1,200 in drug control fees and court costs. The South Dakota cattle market showed steady resilience this week, even as winter storms and volatile futures impacted the region. According to the latest USDA summary, receipts totaled over 23,000 head, with feeder cattle making up the vast majority of the volume. While a winter storm slowed activity in northern regions, other producers maintained steady shipments. In Mitchell, feeder steers in the 600 to 800 pound range saw strong gains, selling up to $9 higher. However, market analysts note a growing sense of caution among cattle feeders. While fat cattle reached sales near $247, recent losses in future market have led to a more conservative bidding environment as producers worry about long-term profitability. High school students from across the state are preparing to face the heat and peer for the annual South Dakota Pro Start Invitational on March 9th and 10th. Hosted by the South Dakota Retailers Association, this competition challenges teams to create a 3-course gourmet meal in just 60 minutes, using only 2 butane burners, no electricity or running water allowed. Beyond the kitchen, students will compete in restaurant management and cake decorating. Local business owner Sean Dempsey, who serves as judge, says the program is vital to keeping talented young people in the state's hospitality industry. The winning teams will earn scholarships and the chance to represent South Dakota at the National Invitational in Baltimore, Maryland. The Watertown Area United Way is celebrating a milestone after raising over $669,000 during its 2025-26 campaign. These funds will provide critical support to more than 30 local nonprofit organizations and programs. Major corporate contributions included First Premier Bank, which pledged $155,000, along with Prairie Lakes Healthcare System and Watertown Ford Chrysler. During the celebratory gathering, Kelly Drott of Beacon Center was named the Live United Volunteer of the Year for her proactive leadership. Additionally, Casey Anderson was announced as the winner of the 10th annual $5,000 room makeover, a decade-long tradition held in partnership with Montgomery's. A major capital infusion is coming to eastern South Dakota through a partnership between Reliabank and the Federal Home Loan Bank of Des Moines. More than $619,000 is being awarded to local nonprofits, with the Watertown area receiving the largest share of over $458,000. 9 local organizations will benefit, including the Bramble Park Zoo, Lake Area Tech, and the Boys and Girls Club of Watertown. A recent $49,000 grant to the Beacon Center highlighted the real-world impact of these funds, which will provide direct financial aid to survivors of violence as they rebuild their lives. Reliabank CEO Josh Hogue noted that when the community rises, the bank rises with them. Your news this hour is brought to you by Watertown Development Company, Watertown's established economic growth and development professionals. Check out the no-cost online courses available to help local entrepreneurs. Learn more at wdcsd.com under the Events tab. The Watertown Development Company equals economic mobility. Read full in-depth stories online at northeastradiosd.com. If you enjoy our daily news recap podcast and live interview uploads, be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a review. Don't forget to sign up for our newsletter delivered straight to your inbox every morning at 6 a.m. With today's local and state news from Northeast Radio SD Studios in Watertown, South Dakota, I'm Steve Jurens.